Hello and welcome to another budget and Leggett video. It is a sad day. My compressor blew up. It's just before Christmas, you know, a few weeks, and of course need to try and get cars done, and my compressor's blowing up. To try and get parts, anything like that, is going to be a nightmare. I did show this on a really old video and getting a lot of grief for how dirty it was. Now bear in mind, it's underneath some stairs, so all the crap when you was walking up and down the stairs used to fall on it. I've now covered the bottom of the stairs. I haven't cleaned it, and as you can see, compared to what it was, go back and check the video, it's like a brand new machine. But what happened is I turned it on. See how cold it is. And I turned it on and it kind of spun for a few seconds and just went completely dead. Horrible smell coming out of it. And obviously when I mean by it blew up, I didn't mean essentially it obviously like blew up into flames. It's just an expression. Tried to plug it back in and no go, no nothing. So what I'm hoping it is, I'm hoping it's the actual capacitor that runs the motor. That's what I'm hoping. That's what normally goes wrong with these things. I've had this compressor for a while. It's a really good compressor. It's never really let me down. And if we can fix it, all the better. So what I'm going to do is, you can just see the cover there. I'm going to take off the cover there and we're going to see what the story is. Sorted. Right, let's get in this. Are you ready? Hopefully we see something. Oh yeah! Boom, look at that bad boy. It's having babies. Now obviously before you do anything like this, make sure you turn it off. That is a capacitor, and now that capacitor is bagged, but bear in mind it can hold like 450 odd volts, so you get a fair whack off it. That's the stuff that's come out of it, completely cracked. But that's what I want to see, because it's going to be an easy fix, and I want to try and get exactly the same capacitor, because that capacitor's last a long time, and it must be a good one. I'm not 100% sure of the name, but it must be a good one because it's lasted a long time. So let's see what we can get now. I'm holding no hopes out for a good few weeks because of the post and all that, Christmas, holidays, you know, all the usual stuff. But let's see what we can do. Right, boom! I finally got one. I've been out with a compressor for a while, which is really frustrating, especially when you have a car stuck on your lift and flat tires and you can't move it. Now you might think, oh, just push it out. No, 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 no. You'll see flat tires, not completely flat, but flat. Now you say push it out. So let's go around and see. And no, I mean, the sump is touching the ground. This is a Citroen. I cannot move it anywhere without damaging something. It has to be started. And I'm waiting on parts of this. I'm waiting on my compressor. I'm just waiting on everything. It's frustrating. That is the car, by the way, that we're going to be doing a full restoration. Now, I've managed to get exactly the same one. Everything matches, you know, so yeah, we're good to go. Got it from the UK, and slightly difference in the fact that this one has a bolt at the back, but that's just the way it mounts. I don't need to use that. Everything else is identical. I didn't go for the really cheap one. This is the same make, so I'm hoping it's going to last the same. Might not, the quality might have changed, but it's still a good make. So, well, I think it is. Time will tell. So that's it. So what I maybe suggest you do if you've got a compressor, because my writing was basically rubbed off. It took a while to actually get the right one. You know, a lot of Googling, because people always ask me, oh, can you do this? Can you send links? Can you do it? Look, everything is slightly different. You have to do your own homework. Lots of people nowadays are very lazy, and they just expect when they go on YouTube for basically the YouTuber to do everything for them. Get off your ass and do it yourself, people. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the old one out. We're going to install this one. It's just a couple of wires, nothing special. Get the old one out, put the new one in, and see if it fires up, or does it go bang? Time will tell. Sorted. And right, with the right equipment, you can actually test these capacitors. Now, you do have to be careful because you are dealing with, obviously, high voltage. You do need an insulation tester. Yes, they are expensive. If you want to test it right, you need the right tools. You know, a lot of people, you know, ask me questions and stuff about how to fix vehicles, and when they don't have the right tools, they kind of get annoyed when I say you need this, this and that, because a lot of people just expect me to say something like hop up and down, lick the window twice, open the door, and the car will be fixed, where in reality you need the right tools to do the job. So what we can actually, we know this is good, but if you've got one and you want to kind of test it, obviously we can see our old one is really bad because it's basically given birth. But we're going to basically charge this now, and now you do have to be careful because once you charge it, there's going to be voltage in there. This machine, like all the good ones, will automatically discharge it for you, but you still have to be careful. We're just going to go to 250 volts in this case, and what we're looking for is it slowly to charge. As you can see, it's slowly charging. And there we go, it's got the voltage. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but essentially it very, very, very slowly built up the charge. It didn't just initially go to the charge. I'll just turn this off. So we know that is okay. And when you see it just basically jump up or go all the way around, you know essentially it's bad. That very, very slowly built up the charge and it held the charge. This would have automatically discharged it. So, just for shits and giggles, we're going to go to 100 volts and we're going to put charge in. Now, when I release my button, or release my finger from the button, or press this button, it will automatically discharge it. So what I'm going to do this time, rather than doing that, I'm going to disconnect the clamp. So I'm going to press this button, which is the same test. We're going to let it charge up. You can see it's charging up. And before I release the button, I'm going to disconnect the clamp. Now, you should never do this, not ordinarily, but we're going to do it. And what we're going to do, you'll see the old spark. Aruni, are you ready? Boom. Did you see that? Now, that's where you have to be very careful. When you actually charge these up, if your machine doesn't discharge them, you're having voltage in there. So be very, very careful. This machine will automatically discharge it for me once I release the button. The good ones will. But yeah, these machines are great. They're great for electric vehicles. They're great for testing injectors. There's going to be videos on this bad boy coming up. But that's how you test one of them if you are unsure. But let's be fair, most of the time these fail, they bulge, they do all sorts, so you can kind of tell. But it's always good to check the new one because, again, you know, there could have been a quality control issue. You just don't know. So now we know this one is good, and now we can actually fit it in. Sorted. Right, so there's the old one. Now, I'm not going to say what the wires do or anything like that because I don't want someone to follow this and they get it wrong on theirs. So do your research on your specific compressor, whatever you happen to be doing, so you know which way to do it. It just saves all the arguments in the comments and everything like that. So I'm just showing you basically what's happened with mine and what I'm doing to rectify it. But as you can see, yeah, she gave birth to triplets there and cracked and just said, yeah, it's my time. And the new one's going to go in now. I've got to put some connections on the bottom of it, on the bottom of the wires, and then that's it, sorted. Right, it's all in. I haven't put the cover back on yet. I'm just going to test it. You want to make sure all your connections are nice and tight because the last thing you want in here is arcing, because that's just going to cause all sorts of problems. So, let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. This is either going to blow up, it's either going to work, or it's either going to blow up. What do you think it's going to do? Let's find out. I've got my hands on it here. The compressor's over there. Will it work? Did you hear something? Weird. It's awkward doing this one-handed. Nothing. Bagger. Right, I had the trip switch flipped, obviously, when it originally went. So, let's try again. Hey! Sorted! Boom! She's alive! Woohoo! Ha! Look what I can do now. I can pump up a tyre. Sorted. Right, so that's it. It's all good. Whatever you do, do not touch anything in there now, because you were talking seriously high voltage and you will die. Me and Darwin both agree on that. So, this compressor I've had for over 10 years. It's never ever given me a days of issues. And yeah, it's cost me like 30 euros to fix it. It was expensive at the time, but you get what you pay for. This wasn't one of them cheap kind of Chinese brands. Well, it definitely wasn't with the price. And it's lasted maybe 12 years now, maybe more. And that's the only thing that's actually gone wrong on it. So you can't really say fairer than that. And obviously I use it literally every day. So we're going to be able to pump up tyres, change tyres, and actually get sanding machines and start spraying this motor behind me. Sorted. So look everyone, I hope it helps. That's it. That's the video done. If your compressor goes, it's the first thing to check and the cheapest thing to check, because that's what normally goes wrong. I would advise, don't get the cheap, really cheap naggy ones, because they will just fail. That one wasn't that expensive. It's the same make as the one that came out, which lasted a long time, so it has to be a good one. And yeah, so that's it. So look, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.